Thank you very much, Owen, and may I take this initial opportunity at the beginning of my contribution to wish you well in the next phase of your career after Friday. I'm sure that you will be continuing to make a very major contribution towards the issues before the conference today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join you here this morning for the opening of Better Building Conference. Today's programme brings together a very impressive range of speakers and moderators from both the private and public sectors, from trade unions and academia, from home and abroad, all of whom I'm sure can be relied upon to give us plenty to think about. And in keeping with the broadly based representation on both sides of the podium today, I'm pleased to see that some of my officials are also participating in and attending today's event. In my own experience, the sharing of information and knowledge may not always settle the arguments between us, but it will improve the quality of the ongoing debate on all things sustainable. And on that basis, I wish you well with what promises to be a stimulating and challenging programme, which I hope will prove less exhaustive for you than it looks. I have yet to come across a better starting point for considering sustainable development than the description provided in the United Nations Blueprint or Brundtland report in 1987. The report advocates development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This core principle continues to guide and inform my department's ongoing consideration of policy and regulatory interventions. Current and ongoing initiatives in this regard include the Roadmap for National Climate Policy and Legislation, which I published in January, which sets out a clear programme to facilitate progress on an informed, transparent and inclusive basis. This process will be further enhanced by work currently being carried out by the Secretariat to the National Economic and Social Council. Public consultation is ongoing and provides a structured and transparent opportunity for all for fair and constructive participation by stakeholders. Secondly, the Framework for Sustainable Development is in Ireland, which will be published next month, following extensive stakeholder consultation. This framework will identify and prioritise further areas of public policy which will benefit from the adoption of sustainability principles and sustainable development approaches as part of the process of continuous improvement of the quality of life for current and future generations. The framework will include an action-orientated implementation plan which will set out clear measures, responsibilities and timelines. The ongoing evolution of the physical planning system at regional, county, city and local level, which since the enactment of the Planning and Development Act 2000 has recognised sustainability as a core objective. The Quality Housing for Sustainable Communities policy. This guidance, which addresses a broad spectrum of sustainability considerations from management, transport facilities and waste facilities to social integration and diversity, and offers comprehensive guidance on good practice. The building regulations, which continue to advance minimum statutory standards in support of environmental protection in key areas such as energy efficiency, sound, ventilation, drainage and wastewater, and the integrity of construction materials. Part L of the building regulations in particular features prominently on today's programme. The latest upgrade of Part L, which I signed into law last year, has brought Ireland to the forefront of EU member states in terms of the statutory energy performance standards for dwellings. The momentum in this area will be maintained this year, with the imminent release for public consultation of the revised regulations transposing the recast Energy Performance of Buildings Directive, the commencement of a review of Part L requirements for buildings other than dwellings, and the publication of a code of practice for retrofitting energy efficiency measures in dwellings, which has been commissioned jointly by my department, the Department of Communication, Energy and Natural Resources, the Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland and the National Standards Authority of Ireland, and this will be released for public consultation in the coming months. So optimising the energy performance of our building stock is critical to progressing environmental sustainability and is a key driver of business competitiveness, innovation and the so-called green economy. As such, its status as a top policy priority is assured. I'm also pleased to see that environmental assessment tools feature on today's agenda. To be chaired by Vivian Brophy of UCD Energy Research Group. Sustainability is not about nice words and good intentions. It's too easy to claim the badge of sustainability by talking up our commitment to sustainability or by making outlandish claims about particular projects being the most sustainable in the country, So the old adage that what gets measured gets managed holds true in the field of environmental sustainability, and we need an evidence-based approach that will enable the sustainability credentials of projects to be independently demonstrated and verified in standardised and comparable ways. While participants may have some familiarity with the BREEAM approach in the UK or the LEED approach in the US, the German Sustainable Building Council approach, which features here today, has equally proven itself as an objective certification system which embraces environmental, economic and social criteria and which can be tailored for use in different countries with different climatic conditions. Neither I nor the Department necessarily favour one system over the other, but I believe, however, that the demand for environmental assessment tools adapted to the Irish operating environment and Irish climatic conditions is now unstoppable. It is only by placing the environment centre stage in the design process in a structured way that we can succeed in our attempts to design out the environmental impacts of our economic development. Traditional construction methods need not live in fear of sustainability considerations. This marvellous venue for today's conference is over 300 years old and continues to serve modern needs perfectly well. Such durability is commendable and must be recognised and valued in a realistic manner in any fair method of life cycle analysis and life cycle costing. It is worth noting that performance standards for houses in Ireland already presume a durability period of 60 years for structural elements. Enormous environmental benefits will accrue by embracing the concept of environmental assessment tools. They have the potential to greatly accelerate the pace of real and meaningful progress towards environmental sustainability. There's a clear-cut choice here. Either we change our ways and develop cleaner, more efficient ways of doing things, or we risk causing irreparable environmental harm. The Government's housing policy statement of June 2011 outlines a vision for the future of the housing sector in Ireland based on choice and fairness, equity across tenures, and on delivering quality outcomes for the resources invested. This document firmly places housing policy in the context of building sustainable communities with a clear focus on ensuring that we continue to develop an effective housing market that's capable of meeting the demands for high-quality private and social housing nationwide. It is in this context that my colleague Minister of State General Sullivan and the Department will continue to review and provide comprehensive guidance on the design of social housing, incorporating the principles and criteria that underlie most recent thinking on housing provision and regeneration, with increased emphasis on sustainability, including energy efficiency and environmental protection. Of course, there is little point in the Government saying what it thinks others should be doing if it's not prepared to do it itself. It's vital that the Government shows leadership in these issues, and our Green Public Procurement Plan is an important development in this regard. Ireland's annual public procurement budget is of the order of €15 billion. By taking environmental factors into account in procurement decisions, the public sector can influence the market towards providing environmental superior goods, services and works in a cost-effective way. This will lead over time to significant environmental benefits, while also boosting national competitiveness and in creating jobs by fostering eco-innovation among SMEs and the wider business community. The OPW will outline progress in relation to the construction element of the Green Public Procurement Plan later today. So despite tight constraints financially, the Government has committed to a capital investment framework that will see the investment of €17 billion between now and 2016. During this period, my own department will also oversee the investment of €3.3 billion at least in water, wastewater, environmental and social housing infrastructure. Ireland's economic meltdown has damaged public confidence in politics, in the construction industry and in all the well-established pillars of society. We are all challenged today, Mr. Chairman, to work hard to regain the public's respect. And I believe that the best way, and perhaps the only way, to regain the public's trust in the construction industry is by delivering what the public expect and deserve: sustainable built environments and quality buildings. I wish your conference well. Thank you.